Hello, so in today's video I'll be showing you face posing for Garry's mod. Basically what face posing does is allows the model to have facial expressions like blinking, smiling, being sad. This is mainly used for posing purposes mainly, so you can have your character look sad. But it does also offer the model to have blinking. And for example, when it looks down, the eyelids will look down with the model. If you ever seen the corner model that I made, you'll see exactly that. So, what is face posing and how does it work? The main thing it's based around is FACS, which is Facial Action Coding System. What this really is, it's a big read. Would I recommend reading it? Not really. But it's basically what people use to define emotions. For example, happiness would be 6 plus 12, just identifying each one with different code names for it. I guess you could call it like police have 10, 12 to signal something. Well, they have AU2 to signal front outer brow razor. Basic things like this. Well, basic, I say. But you should not really worry about this, just know it's based on this system. So let's say your jaw drop will be named Bone 26 to correspond with this system. So when first starting on face posing, you want to make sure your model is under 10,000 vertices. Basically, if it's above 10,000 vertices, you'll have to do what I do with Marcus, which is get rid of the pointless ones. If I just open him up. So as you see, his actual face is 13k, but we're only counting the vertices which will be moved, flexed, which will be around this area. Well, more or less, so it basically goes under 10,000 because this model works for us. What it had in the beginning was it had a beard, more eyelashes, etc. We had to get rid of those since they are very high poly. But yeah, you have to make your model work with it. Flex animation cannot alter collision models. You should not really bother about those. It's basically if you for example, smile, your collision model will get bigger. That won't work for you. This doesn't concern us. The rest doesn't. So basically, if you want to do facial animation, you'd have to come to this link, which I'll link in the description, and copy exactly each of these 34 flexes onto your model, as you can see on Marcus. I just scroll up to his flexes. Key 1, let's make this not relative, is blinking. So default is 0, which is basis. Key 1 is upper lid lowerer, which is basic blink. You can open these up and basically copy what you see here. Sometimes these also tell you more information about how to do it. Upper lid razor will be key 2. As you can see, is eyelids raise. Key 3, eyelid droop. Yep. I'll be showing you guys until lip corner puller. And then for the rest of those, I'll just replace them with basically no flexes, because that will just take way too much of my time on a model I already made. But me doing it until then, and then spamming this so we get 34, will basically allow us to see in game how it will look like. So let's not save this, open up our base file. I'll be showing this on the Marcus model so you can compare it. When it comes to the QC file for this, all it basically takes is adding these 2 lines really. as long as you name them each like in the correct order, adding these two lines will just do the rest for you. For example, if you have a model that it has face posing and you decompile it, it will break up the code. Just replace it with this code. If you want the eyelids to move down with it, you add this code. If you want your model to have eye posing, which I recommend because FACS Flexes makes it really nice eye posing, which follows the camera and blinks, you add this code. But if you just want standard face flexes, this will do. Oh yeah, you need to define these as well at the top for the VTA file. Okay, so here's our markers model. As you can see, it has a lot of bones. Don't be overwhelmed. If your model does not have bones, what you can do is basically, let's just open up the eye, head, take what we need, the mouth, the rest we don't really concern ourselves with. Okay, if your model does not have bones, you could just go and manually press O. I'll tell on screen share, screencast. Press O on the keyboard. You'll get this circle. If you don't see the circle, just scroll your mouse up and down because it might be bugged at first. And you could manually just rotate it and move it into place. Like here's a really stupid smile. Okay, but since we have the luxury of having face bones, you'll also have face bones if you follow my other tutorials. I mean, I'm counting that it had bones since the start. Okay, so it all moves fine for us. So what we're going to start with, I'll first delete this keyframe. Okay, we have no shape keys. Press the plus twice. The names of these don't really matter, but what I like to do is just name them key 1, key 2 to like key 34. And yeah, basically begin doing the flexes. We leave bases out because that's a default pose. We start at key 1. Key 1 will be the blink. So what we want to do is, oh yeah, since I'm using these, I do not need to make one, since what I'll be doing is if I move something here, let's say this is how I want the blink to be. Yes, I know. We press apply as shape key. We'll make an armature here, and it will just do that shape key. Whatever bone we moved, it will move for us as a shape key. But I still replace these to be like key 1. It's just what my personal preference. You don't have to if you don't want to. Let's put this back, reset the pose, Alt G, Alt R, Alt S. Sorry, checking something. Okay, so let's start with the blink. The bones we want to move are these ones. I'm just pressing C to get this cursor. Select what I want. All these bones are relevant. GZ. I press G to move it around. I press Z to be on the Z axis, which only goes down. I don't want it to be like, moving to the left. Move it how I want to. Deselect the bones I no longer need. GZ. Deselect the bones I don't need. That looks good to me. Hide the bones, see what we're working with. This one needs to be a bit lower. This one too. Maybe rotate it a bit. We're fine on this side. I'm not going to do it perfectly as, yeah, I already did face posing for this model. So now as you see, we have a nice blink. The model will now blink in game once we code it in with the expressions. So every X seconds it will just blink for you. Very easy. Okay, since we have blink done, what we can get into is the next one, which is eyelid razor. What you can also do is open up the reference file on the one you want to do. Wait for it to load, of course. And basically see what's changed. So that's the reference one. That's the one with eyelid razor. You can see only those parts have changed. And it hasn't moved up too much, so that's a good reference for you to take. G Alt R Alt S, reset everything, armature again, since we're using this. If you are not using bones, let's say you want a smile in quotation marks. What you don't want to do is it already did it to the mesh, the shape key you selected at first. So each time you move something, you just make a new shape key. So key 2, I want a smile. Here's my smile, new shape key, next flex. This one tells you to move the nose up, inwards. Done, next shape key. Things like this. But since I'm using armature, I'm using apply shape key. I have to reapply the armature each time. Okay, so eyelid razor. Again, having bones works really well with this. Just saves you so much more time and makes it a lot more reliable. Everything works. Eyelid razor, you only need these ones. Move them up. At the bottom left, it shows you how much you're moving up. If you want to go GZ 0.6, okay, GZ 0.06, it will move it exactly 0.6 in that direction. And since this is too much, controlling too much, let's select the top ones. GZ 0.01, nah, GZ 0.02, oops. I'll just move it manually, it'll be easier. Okay. Oh, also, you have to do two sides at the same time. So example, if something's changing on the left side, you should have to do it on the right side as well. Because once you apply the phase rules and standard flexes, QCI files, it will automatically determine where the middle point is for you. And in the game, you'll have like left eyelid blink, left, right eyelid blink. We'll just do it for you. But yeah, if you want it to be symmetrical, just do both at the same time rather than moving something and then being like, oh, was it this one? Was it this one? Just overall makes your life easier. Okay, since we applied that as a shape key, I just name this one key 1, key 2, reset positions. Okay, next one. I will most likely just hurry up through the next ones, mainly because I believe you get the idea now. If I see something that needs explaining, I'll do it. But expect a lot of shortcuts happening in a short time in a second. Key 3, which is lower lid lowerer, lower eyelid in the eyes wide open position. Basically, lower it. As it says. Nothing else needs to be done. For the mouth, I recommend to be like giving it high flexes, if that makes sense, like moving the bones a lot. So it doesn't look like it's machine talking, like for example, opening. Like you see how far it stretches the mouth from the default. That's basically what you want to do. Don't move it a little bit, or it will just look really awkward when trying to do choreography, which is another thing that FACS animation can do for you. Basically. Okay, that's lower lid lowerer, lower lid lowerer. Done. You could probably make it a little bit better, but yep. Key 3. Now we'll be going to key 4. Lower lid razor. So when you hate something, the face you do, reset this to 0. Add back the armature. So once again, I'm just pressing C to get that cursor. Just makes life easier. For this one, I'll have to move it around the Y-axis and get out a bit more forward. A bit too high. Deselect these ones. Back ones. GZ. This one's fine. This one needs a bit more work. GY. Look at this face. What a god. We got key 4 now. Oops. Reset. Don't mind that. That's just my MMD plugin. I'm a weeb. Upper eyelids half closed. So it's just the same, but targeting the upper eyelids. A lot of it is repetitive, but once you get to around flexes 15 to 30, that's when you'll be playing with the big boy bones, which is the mouth area, which, trust me, is really hard. And if you've seen my markers model or my corner model smiles, you'll exactly see what I mean, as they look absolutely terrible. But we have some sick textures to compensate for my lack of face posing. That's key 5 done. You can test each time if you want to. Move more bones than I do. If you see I'm, like, for example, not moving these ones, and your model needs them, go for it. As long as it looks like this, somewhat relevant, it will all work nicely. So now we're done with the eyes. We will go on to the eyebrows. So, yep. Just raising the first part up of the eyebrows. I have exactly that part here. Okay, so I will also move this a little bit so it doesn't look too awkward. Okay. Shape key. Key 6. Seems a bit higher than the other. Doesn't really matter in my case. I'm not taking too much pride in this. And now it's the back ones. It doesn't raise it that high. If you want to, you can raise them higher to suit your needs. Reset positions, apply an armature. Now let's select the back ones. Select the middle ground. And I have some funky ass eyebrows. Key 7. And if you select them all at the same time, you have just default eyebrows going up. Okay, great. We're on eyebrow 8. This is the angry eyebrow. someone pisses you off in a Discord, you do this face. So once again, just want to lower it. This part doesn't move too much, but this part moves a bit more, lower, and it also goes a little bit to the left. Just catching those little details each time. Just makes it look a lot more fluid. I guess that's the word, maybe not. And then these ones in the back, just move it a little bit down. I'd like to move this down. I might have moved it a bit too much to the left, but here's an angry markers for you. Brow razor, and then on 10 I'm gonna stop. So yeah, basically just selecting all of them, but making them yeah, only go to the top. There's no need to make them go a bit more to the left. So once again, I'm pressing GZ and then moving up manually. If you want to be extra, for example, if you move these eyebrows, 1 second, GZ 0.02. Oops, that's not the eyebrows. GZ 0.2. So that's the eyes going up, the eyebrows going up. If you want the eyelids to go down, you could just do GZ minus 0.2. That actually looks better than my eyebrows, so I could have just done that. But then you'll be really even, going 2 up, 2 down, rather than like 1.6 up, 1.1 down, just not even. Okay, I thought I would lost my progress there. Let me resave this. Yeah, you should probably be saving these, as these take a lot of time, especially once you get to the big bones, the big flexes. You don't want to lose progress on this, trust me. Key 9, so yeah, going up. Select them. GZ 0.2. Eyebrows are raised. Foot equals down. Key equals 9. Great rhyme. Key 10 is the lips. You are now onto the lips, and it's a smile. A really hard flex to do, especially with the bones I'm given, which has a lot of these tiny bones, which you have to manually move. But I think we'll manage. So let's see what's happening. It's basically, oops, this goes up, curves, and this part just stays flat. So what we want to do is, what I'll do is move the jaw up a bit. Start getting these out. I'm going to press S and X. Actually, that's a bad idea. GX 0.1. Nope. GX 0.05. Nope. GX 0.05. GX point minus 0.5. So it's plus for this side, minus for this side. Because if I did plus, it'd just go to the right. Let's start with getting these out the way. It's really hard to see what you're doing, I know. If you can't see what I'm doing, trust me, I can barely see myself. This is gonna look horrible, I can see it already. It's not even smiling yet. Oh god, this looks horrible. We'll have to deal with what we have. Once again, I'll just use my excuse of I already did this model, no need to do it twice perfectly. Well, perfectly said in quotes. You'll see what I mean when I release this model. So yeah, a very basic smile. This is not the... Okay, doesn't move that much. But if I was you, I'd probably make him move a bit more. So like this goes to here, this goes here. So it doesn't look like a robot. But this is not the extreme pull. The extreme pull is this one. As you can see, it's a lot wider. So we got our 10 keyframes, which I promised to do. For the rest of them, I will just do key 11 and move a vertex I don't care about. You don't do this part, just ignore what I'm doing completely. You just carry on and do the rest of those 34 flexes. Turn this on, new shape key from mix. In this instance, I'm not going to do the 34 flexes, and I still want to show you what I meant and what it will look like in the game. I am basically pretending like I did them, but I will ignore them in the game. Done 34 flexes. Round of applause for everyone that got to this point. Good luck around the smile area and the pucker lips, because Jesus Christ, that was a pain to do each time. Okay, we've got 34 flexes. Is this model Gmod ready? I hope so. Please don't crash. It's somewhat ready. Okay, so the thing to do, I'll just use the interior outfit. Then do what I'm doing. I'm just deleting all the extra work I've spent doing. How much flexes do we have? We might have a bit too many eyebrows. Maybe we can just get rid of the eyelashes. Gotta improvise with what you have, fellas. What I'm doing is holding L and moving my mouse around. So it selects different points. I'm doing it at random. Okay, we got rid of 1000 verts. Doesn't look too awkward. Maybe a bit on this part. Sorry if you can hear vacuuming in the background. Okay, so we can join. Fuck. Okay. This is what I'll do. Completely get rid of this part. Name this hair. Name this head. Okay, we don't need these, okay. So, now that we have these, we no longer need the bones. So if you followed my other tutorial, you'll have the cats plugin, you can just merge weights. There we go. 196 bones deleted. If we move this. Oh god, let's go back. Add a modifier first for an armature. Reset it. Then do the things I just said. Right, this vacuum noise might be a big problem in a second. There we go, it all works fine. Yep. Let's put this into Gmod and see what happens. So I'll just export it. Don't want these. I do not want these. I'll just deselect them. This still has flexes. It still has flexes. It's not controlling any mesh we don't want, so we can export it all out. Desktop. So why it's taking so long is since it's a high poly model. Well, it's 40k Hz, but it has a VTA file with 34 different keyframes, so it's taking its time. 30 seconds. Not that long. Let's keep these open. So this point is the QC part. So let's open up markers for ESA. QCs. I'll just duplicate. Name this FACS tutorial. Delete all the SMDs I do not need, which is basically all of them. And procedural, as we won't be using procedurals. That might be the next tutorial I make, if people want procedural bones. Okay, markers underscore test FACS. I'll just do underscore FACS. Okay, now let's put all the files in that we have, which is all these. We have the head SMD separate, which has a head VTA file. So in the beginning, we'll put the model name, define variable expressions. All this code I'll be leaving in the description. Put for the expressions the name of your VTA file. For example, if you named your head the face, you'd put face.vta if you have a face.vta. Expression legs, you don't need this. I guess I'll leave it in. I've always had it in. Head bone, define the head bone. If you're not using valve pipes, it might be whatever. Put the model name you want. Markers underscore FACS. Head.smd, the SMD which has all the flexes. Define this if you have it. Basically, open up QCIs, open up the model, select the eyes, middle part, press N, scroll up. All these values, I'll set this to Z. So this is the left eye. Okay, I'm going to bring it back as just 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. So as I was saying, you basically get these points from the middle of the iris. Well, as much as the middle as you can get. And then put those values from N in local. Global doesn't matter. X goes here, Y goes here, Z goes here. Make sure it's Z axis up. it says max results for Blender. Then you create QC text. If you had put the right eye in, it would say values for the right eye. Actually, I'll do it now for my model, as I'll be using it to show you guys what I mean. Y and Z. Create QC text. Put this to iris on used. I don't tend to change these values, they seem correct to me. Standard Flex QCI files are basically these files which have code into them in them. For example, flex controllers are in the face rules. And this relies on the FACS Flex system, the facial action coding system, which we looked at briefly. Wrong link. In here, sorry. So we see AU10R, AU10 upper lip razor, right upper razor. So yeah, you can see it's based around this whole system. And what all this code does is mix the values together. For example, it moves this bone this up and times it by this, so it relies on this. It's really confusing. Then it all defines it up here, how much it all moves each one. You get some notes about what it does, but it's not much. You can look more into it if you want to, but there's really no need. And standard flexes just give flex pairs. So it divides it to both sides. For example, brow razor, there'll be one for the left side, one for the right side, things like this. It's flex pairs. But yeah, these two QC files is all you need. For example, if you want to change something, you can do it manually in here. See, for example, it moves right suppressor a bit too much. Just tone it down a little bit if you want to. It's really complex stuff. I never bothered with it. Did we export out the proportions? I don't think we did. We did not. Okay. Let's get rid of these. Go into anims. This is proportions. If you don't know proportions, ignore this part. You won't have to do it. Really doesn't matter. Now let's go into the QC code. We only have interior. Do we have hands? No, we don't. We have hair though. Yeah, that's all the three defined that we have, S&Ds. Jiggle bones, you won't have them. I won't have them, but I'll leave the code in. Proportions are defined, everything's defined, mark as facts. Let's compile for the game and see what we have. There might be some textures missing, but we'll see. Can't find eyeball R on the model exactly, so what we need to do, actually, select the whole right eye, make a new material. Eyeball, let's go R, assign it, deselect, select, new material, eyeball, let's go L, assign, deselect, select, all works fine. Export it all out again. I hope this tutorial isn't too long. I really do. Let's wait the 30 seconds for this. Okay, 30 seconds are up. It exported it all out. What we can do is replace the files we have, close QCIs. Basically, I'll just do head and head VTA, as that's the only two files we need to move. Replace, compile it. It should all be working fine. Jiggle bones unused, yep, correct. I believe the eyeballs will be messed up as I did not change the UVs on them. But we'll find out and see what's up. It exported. Can launch Garry's mod and see our really nice smile in game. Okay, we don't want rage. I'll chop Garry's mod real quick. My terrible dark happy screenshots in the background. Is there anything else I want to talk about? I have a little notepad for myself. I believe that's all of it. Okay. This is taking a while. This is my first time launching Garry's mod today. Oh yeah, assigning places controllers. This covers it. A lot of this website, this wiki, covers all of it, what you need. And as it says, it's assigning flexes to controllers, how much it all moves, how much it doesn't. You can read all of it yourself. Mouth 1, so the mouth is illuminated. Doesn't concern us. DMX format, so we don't use DMX, we use SMD. But yeah, defining flexes, it's all there. If you really want to make your own, go for it. Would I recommend it? No, mainly because I don't understand it myself. If you are missing those QCI files, can be found here apparently. Yep. Let's see, Marcus_FACS. I believe last time I checked, my Garry's mod was lagging, so if it's lagging right now, I'm sorry. Let's make him into a model. As you can see, he is blinking. His eyes are messed up because oh, you can see, we caught the blink in action. His eyes are, oh, they are fixed. So if we open up the Eyeposing on the model, like so, if we make it go down, you can see this area for the eyelids is also going down, which makes it really nice. Okay, he's a bit bug-eyed, but that's fine. Everyone has their insecurities. And the main thing we want to check is face posing. All of this works. Blink. The one we are concerned about is the mouth. Which one is it? There it is. We did the left corner pull and the right corner puller. It's a little messed up because we didn't do the rest of those. But we have this really awkward smiling game. Remember, since we didn't do all those flexes, we only have these two and the eyes to mess about with. But if you did all of them, all of it should work for you. Let's give you a little markers to see. A little preview of the upcoming model. So if you got a model with all those, you'll have a wrinkler, you'll have a right corner puller, a left one, Jesus Christ, that looks terrible. The left part of the mouth, the right part, his bite, Jesus Christ, I should not have done that, and his smile. Look at this guy, I'm cringing at myself. Okay, let's stop. But yeah, all those face posing. But yeah, I believe that's it for the tutorial. I do not think I missed anything. So, a basic TLDR. It's based around facial action coding system, which is an IRL system for defining variables, defining expressions people use. What you have to do is create 34 different face flexes in Blender, or Max if you're using Max. I'm not sure how it works in there. Do those, add special code to your model, which is basically this. Define eyes if you want to. And that's pretty much it. As long as you have that code in your QC and those standard flex files, which I'll be including in the description, you will be fine. It will work for you. But yeah, I believe that's it for the tutorial. Thank you once again for listening to my horrible voice, and yep, if I explained something terribly, do let me know. But that's it. Thank you very much. Bye bye.